Okay, so in this product demo, we're going to walk through creating a mix and match bundle builder. So once you're logged into the app, over here on the left-hand column, you're going to click on Create Bundle. From there, we suggest selecting Start with a Template and choosing Mix and Match. Now, once again, once you're in the back end to create your bundle, you're going to notice that this resembles the Shopify editor. That's done intentionally so that it's easy to navigate. In the toolbar, you're going to see where you can toggle between desktop and mobile. This is where you can also preview, save changes, publish, and unpublish your bundle. Now, because we selected mix and match, you're going to see by default, you have 3 steps, 1, 2, and 3, and then finally review. Again, we'll walk through how to create additional steps or remove a step if needed. Now, over here on the left-hand side, you're going to see bundle settings, steps, and add-ons. We'll walk through each one of those. And then notice, depending on what we select, your right-hand column will update in real time as well. So this is where you can choose some colors, some sizes, as well as how many cards you want or how many product cards you want per row. So if it's set to automatic, you're going to be able to change your card size with our slider here. And what I mean by that is you can determine if you want 2 product cards per row, 3 or 4 for desktop. And then on mobile, you can determine if you want it set to automatic, 1 or 2. So with that said, let's go ahead and add our products to each step. Typically, we would start with bundle settings, but I do want to show you that as we're making updates, how our canvas here in the middle will update in real time. So the first thing you're going to do is click on your first step here. And after doing so, your right-hand column is going to update in real time. And this is where we're going to name our step. So as in our example, we're working with a nutrition shop, and we're going to work with pre-workout, intra-workout, and recovery drinks. And so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and name this step pre-workout. Now, product source is what will allow you to add products to your canvas here or to this step by collection or selecting individual products. So for this one, we're going to choose selection. I will show you in the next step how you could also choose individual products. And we're going to go ahead and select our collection of pre-workouts. When you add this, you're going to notice that the pre-workouts are added in real time into your canvas. And so this is a great visual. This is what's going to allow you to very easily build your bundle, making sure you've got everything set up the way that you want it before you go live on your site. Now, one thing I would always notate is from a visual standpoint, by default, as I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and first I'm going to close our step settings here. That way we can take a look at this again. So cards per row. By default, we have automatic for desktop and mobile. And you can see the card size here is 200 pixels. If we wanted to make it smaller, you can see where we actually, when we do that, not only is it making the product cards smaller, but then it'll also adjust on how many per row you see. The other option would be if we go ahead and move this back to 200 pixels, and then let's select 3 for desktop. And then I personally like 2 for mobile. And so again, right here, you're going to see 3 product cards per row. Now, let's go ahead and go back into our step settings. So to do that, because we in the left-hand column are within our steps tab, we're going to just select that first step again. And it's going to bring up our step settings. And this is where you can adjust everything accordingly. What's really nice is you have the flexibility and freedom to adjust your step settings for each step. So you're not tied to one setting for all steps. You have complete control and flexibility over each step individually. So with that said, we're going to first focus on our select mode. And so this is a drop down where you would select a multi-select where your customer could pick one or more, a single select, which means that they would have to pick exactly one product from that step. We're going to leave it on multi-select because our customer might want to pick one or more pre-workouts. The next option here is to make this field required. By default, that's turned on. If you unselect this, you're going to notice an option to skip this step will pop up. Now, for the purposes of this step, we're going to go ahead and leave that as a required step, meaning they'll have to pick at least one product from here. And then next we have our quantity selector. And so you can see that you can add one of these, or you could add multiple if you wanted to. Now that is by default turned on. You could also turn it off by just unselecting that box. We're going to go ahead and turn that back on. Again, if a customer wants the same flavor of a pre-workout, we're going to give them the option of being able to add quantity 2 or 3 or however many they want to the bundle. Great. Now we also have set your quantity limits. Again, this is something that's optional. You don't have to do this, but if we go ahead and select 1 here, this would mean that your customer would have to pick at least 1. And then maybe we want to add a max of 3, meaning they would not be able to pick more than 3 pre-workouts from this step. Now you can see here, our little notifier up here changed to pick at least 1. And that's because we've updated our minimum to 1. What's really cool too is within this canvas, you can get a really good feel for how the bundle builder is actually going to work on your live site for your customers. Because right here, you could go ahead and click on add to bundle. And you're going to see the visual up here update in real time. And now this notifier changed back to pick 1 or more. You can also click on the different flavors. And what's really exciting about that is, again, if somebody was picking a different flavor, they would be able to add to cart accordingly. Also notate that the image will update in real time. So does the flavor profile up here. And now let's go ahead and say we actually want to add quantity 2 of this pre-workout. And so now we have quantity 2 of this one, and we have just 1 of that, which now we've hit our limit of 3. And so up here, our notifier has changed to max 3 reached. Now again, we can remove by just clicking on the X from the bundle visual, or again, in the product card, you could remove from the visual here as well. So let's go ahead and we're going to actually leave that with a minimum of 1 and a max of 3. And then we can take a look at how that functions on the live site as well. Now this is also really cool because, again, as we have this set up here, you can see we have 8 different pre-workouts. And if you had 20 or 30 different pre-workouts in this step, you could see how an infinite scroll of a product grid would be a lot for the customer to kind of look through. So we do have an option here where you could actually set a page limit. So for example, let's say we just want to load 3 initially. And then when we do that, and again, in real time, your canvas updates, it's going to include a button below the 3 product cards that says load 3 more, and there's a total of 5 in this step left to view. So if I go ahead and click on load 3 more, it'll do exactly that. And then if I move my loom setting over here, you can see now we have 2 more to load, and there's only 2 left. And again, you can see those 2 accordingly. So I think this looks really good, and I think we're going to go ahead and leave that at just showing 3 per page. You also have the option to show the vendor or the brand filter, and this could come in handy for a lot of different e-commerce sites. If you're selling multiple brands, you would be able to select that, and then in your product card, you would see which brand each product would fall under. Okay, great. So now this says pick 1 or more, but remember, if we add at least 1, because the way that we have this setting set up is you have to have at least 1 added to cart. And so when we do that, this changes to pick 1 or more. Now, if you wanted to change it to say you can pick up to 2 more pre-workouts, you'll notice that again in real time, this notifier will update accordingly. And this is a great indicator to your customer that they could pick up to 2 more for a total of 3 for this particular step. Now, again, this is individual and based on step. So you could change that. If you wanted to do the same thing for the additional steps, you could, but you don't have to. You can change those and do those differently if you want. So what we have here is our next add accessories, and this is just a default text. You'll notice here when we changed the name of this step to pre-workout, it updated here and in the step name as well. So when we get to step 2 and 3 and we change the name, this will update as well as this. And then our text here within the next button will also update. So next we're going to add a step for intro workouts. And so this will say next add intro workouts or intro workouts, however you want to word it. And the way that you would do that would be here. We're going to leave this as is for now. And then also skip this step, if you remember, because that is an option up here, by unselecting the required box. If you wanted to change the text within that option, you could do so. But remember, again, if you unselect that and that box doesn't appear, it is because we do have a minimum of 1, which means that that field or this step is required to add at least 1 product. Therefore, the customer is required to select 1. Now we have our variant and details. So right now our variants are provided as a drop-down in each of the product cards. So for us, this would be flavors. But obviously, any of your product options or variants would show up here. If you have more than 1 product option, you would see multiple drop-downs here accordingly. Now, what's really exciting is we could also include, or instead of a drop-down, we could turn this into a swatch option. Now, for a product like supplements and pre-workouts, this actually looks really cool. I really do like the way it looks because you're getting a very clear visual of what that flavor profile would look like for the next product. So you could switch this to swatch buttons or revert back down to the drop-down menu if you want to. Next, we have our product detail panel. So by default, this is turned off, but you have the option of selecting the product description, and that's going to be placed right here in the product card if you wanted it to. You could also do a accordion option, which means the customer would have to click on the accordion in order to get the information for that particular product. Or you could select a side drawer. Now this is really exciting, and I'll show you what this looks like more on the live site, because as a visual, it looks really good on the live site. Because you can, so for anything from here up, right, anything that we've done as far as the select mode, are the steps required? Are we going to have a quantity limit, a min and a max, products load per page? All of those options, you can make these global, meaning if you select this box, those would then also be turned on. Those same settings would be the same for steps 2 and 3 here. So you don't have to recreate all of these moving forward. Now I'm going to leave this off because we're going to do something different in the following steps. But this is a great option. That way, again, you just don't have to repeat your efforts, and then you could make it global so that it's the same settings for each of your steps if you wanted to. Okay, so this is also where it gets really cool, because we actually also have a lot of additional features that I think you're going to find to be extremely valuable. I truly understand, some of the value that we could provide in this app for business owners. And so I'm really excited to kind of show you what some of these are. So for example, in our tooltip, what you're going to notice is as I start to fill out these 3 fields, we're going to get a little info icon graphic that will populate right here next to the step name. So I'm going to say something like, how about learn more? And then I'm going to type in get the best pre-workout. And then I'm going to say something like, ensure you select the right pre-workout for the type of training you're doing. Okay. Apologies for typing so slow there. But anyways, so now you can see that we have this little info icon. Now, if I hover over it, it's going to say learn more, which is what we have right here. So anything that you put in this field, if you just hover over the icon, that's what you're going to see. Now, when you click on it, you're going to see the title and the body of text that you include with that. So we have this little infographic that will pop up. And this is a really great opportunity if you just have a quick note to help your customers navigate the step, or something you want to make sure that they have the option of knowing as they're selecting their products from this step. This is just a great way of presenting that information. Now, we also have another option here. So this is actually going to be a learn more button. And this is something I'm really excited about. So I'm going to put here in the button title, learn more again. And then we're going to go ahead and you can see how we have this little learn more button now that populated right here. And I'm going to say, make sure you get the best pre-workout. And I'll say something like, everyone who trains, my goodness, if I could type, knows that not all training is the same. So make sure you get the pre-workout you need. Okay, so this is just another way of presenting this information here. So when I click on learn more, we have the logo that pops up. So make sure you get the best pre-workout. Everyone who trains, you know the rest. Now, what's really exciting about this is you also have the option of including a video. So let me go ahead and real quick, let me go grab our YouTube video link. And now that we have the video link, we're just going to go ahead and paste that into this field here. Now, in this field, you can add a YouTube link, a Vimeo link, or you could just add your MP4 file here as well. I think as a best practice, YouTube link's probably the best because it's just going to load very quickly. But anyways, once you've done that, go ahead and click on Learn More again. And now you can see it's here. So this is extremely valuable. You could get into as much detail about the step as you want, the products on the step that you want. You could really explain to your customer how to navigate, making sure that they're selecting the right products. Really, the possibilities are endless as far as how you use this. But we do believe that this is a great value add for you as the business owner to effectively communicate whatever information you need to for your customers. So a lot of times, as a business owner, you might get a lot of phone calls from your customers asking about certain products in the steps or just products in general. And so you could get ahead of that by providing a really great video here that provides the information and answers a lot of the FAQs or frequently asked questions that customers are calling about. So I think this is just super exciting and there's a lot that you can do with that. Now, here's something else that's really cool and I think equally as exciting. So one of the things that we got as feedback is, the video kind of lives behind this learn more button. And that is true. And I think a lot of customers who are looking for information would be looking for a learn more button to click. But if that's not the case, and if you're worried that customers skip over that, or if there's maybe this learn more button is something is more step specific or products in this step specific, and you want another video that's just more about the mix and match bundle builder in general, you could do that. So we actually have another option. I'm just going to use the same video link so that you can see a visual, but I'm going to paste that in here. And then right here above our visual, our bundle visual, as you're adding product to your bundle, that video is going to live up here. So again, this is something that's super exciting because now you can put that video right in front of your customers and you can provide the information that you want to share with them or make sure that they know as they're navigating through the bundle builder. So again, I think this is not only extremely valuable, but also going to help convert a lot more. Because if you can help answer questions that your customers might have as they're navigating through this bundle builder, the likelihood of them completing it, adding the bundle to the cart, and then converting is going to be a lot higher. So again, I think this is super exciting and something that, I'm just really excited to see how you all use it and the feedback that we're getting from you as well. Okay, perfect. Now, with that said, I'm going to leave the banner image blank, but we'll show you what that looks like in the next step. And I think that this is also just a really cool value add, but we'll get to that in the next step. So now we've completed everything we want for our first step called pre-workout. Now let's go ahead and select our second step, which is currently titled Add Accessories, but we're going to go ahead and name it Intro Workout. Oops, there we go. And again, this will update in real time. And so now you can see that along with the step name right here. So with that said, as I mentioned, we're going to add products to this step by adding them individually. And this is going to be our intro workout. And so if you select individual products and then you click on pick products, you're going to see instead of collections, all of your individual products live right here. And then you can just go ahead and scroll through. So we have flow and pulse and recovery. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and add those. Now, what's really cool is what I forgot to mention, and let me just go ahead and go back to our pre-workout. If you select collection, the way that these are organized is going to be how you've organized them within the backend of Shopify under that collection. If you select individual products, you do have the option of moving these around and reorganizing them however you see fit. So that's something to keep in mind too. But either way, I think that this is going to provide a really great visual as well, and it's going to look really good. Next, we have our select mode, and I'm going to go ahead and make this field required as well. And let's see here. We're going to show the quantity selector. We're going to keep that. Now we're going to go ahead and leave the 4 of these on here. We're not going to do a limit on how many to load per page. We're also going to change this tech from pick any add-ons optional to, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and leave optional, but we're going to say pick your intra workout. And then we'll leave optional as an option there. Because what I'll do is actually, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to make required. I'm going to turn it off just so you can see what that looks like. And so now you can see where it says skip this step. And again, that's located right here. But if you want to change it to skip intro workouts, you can, and then that'll update in real time. So again, we've put a lot of thought into all the feature functionality, into every possible way you as a business owner might want to customize this. And so we've really put a lot of work into making sure that we're providing you with that flexibility. Okay, great. So we're going to go ahead and leave the variant picker style the same. We're going to go ahead and continue to use the slide drawer or side drawer, which I'll show you in a second. I'm going to go ahead and skip the tooltip and the learn more buttons because we've gone over that. But what I am actually going to do in this step is going to show you what the banner image looks like. So in order to do that, I wanted to make sure that I just open the content manager in a new tab up here. And from there, we're going to go ahead and select our files. So the way that we recommend this is uploading any file that you might want to use, copy that link. Now let's navigate back to our bundle here, because that link is what you're going to actually paste into this field. And when you do that, you're going to see an image here. So this is our banner image. And again, I think what's really nice about having the flexibility or the option to add a banner here is that now you can really kind of showcase what these products are for, right? So as you might know, like intro workout products are great to drink as you're working out. And so what we might want to show here is an image of people working out at a gym. So there's a lot of ways that you could use this feature, but I think it's just another really great value add that we've put into or built into your bundle builder. And again, just because we have it on one step doesn't mean you have to use it on all steps. It is optional, and you could also add a different banner for each step. So again, I think this is just a really cool way of kind of bringing a little bit more energy to the bundle builder and maybe sharing your brand a little bit more, but you can do a lot with it. Okay, perfect. So next we're going to go ahead and click on our last step here. And this is going to be, let's name it recovery. And we're going to go ahead and keep selection or the product source as a collection. And then we're going to go ahead and pick our collection, and we are going to select the protein collection there. And so now we have our proteins that have populated here. So I think this looks really great. Let's see. And I think we're just going to leave this one kind of as is. Maybe we do make this one required, so that skip this step will be removed. And next, something else that I'm really excited. So we have the bundle settings. We have each of our steps created, and we've set up our bundle setting or our step settings for each one of those. And next we have the option of including an add-on. And so with that said, I'm really excited to show you how we've built add-ons into your guided bundle builder. So for example, we're going to go ahead and click on, let's navigate back to pre-workout just so we're all viewing where we're going to actually create this from. We're going to click on add pop-up, and I'm going to call this probably like our multi, because we're going to add a couple of multivitamin options. And so next, you're going to see trigger products in this step. So basically, this gives you the option to select from whatever step you want to set up the trigger product. So if a customer, we'll go back to our pre-workout, which is step 1, adds one of these 3 items to the bundle, then it's going to trigger the add-on pop-up at the end. The other option is you could select all, which is going to select all the products within that step. So if your customer adds any one of these products, our add-on pop-up will appear. Next, we're going to go ahead and select our suggested products. And so we're going to select our Athlete 1 multivitamin, and let's see, where's the other our Daily Plus. So now both of those have been added. And you can give this pop-up a title, like make sure to grab your pre-work or your multivitamin. And then, you could say something like, ensure you have the vitamins and minerals for the right balance. I don't know. You can put whatever you want there. Okay, now great. So now you can also offer an additional discount if you wanted to. In order to do that, you would click on additional percent or $% off. And then if you wanted to give them an additional 5%, that would then equate to a total of 15%, because what we haven't done yet is actually set up the bundle settings. So let's go ahead and do that. Now that we've set up our add-on, now let's go ahead and go back to our bundle settings. Now, I forgot, because traditionally you would do this first, but what I really wanted to walk you through is exactly, what this canvas does, how it updates in real time, so that you had a very clear visual on how to actually build this out. So now that we've done this, we're going to go ahead and walk through our bundle settings. So first, we're going to give it a name. So for this one, we're going to name, let's do sports performance. And this will come into play as you're reviewing your analytics and reports and things of that nature. So that's why we give it a name. The next thing you'll do is you can select what page you want to add this to. So this connects to Shopify's pages. Or another option, what we're going to do is we're actually going to grab this bundle ID once we are done setting up our bundle settings and save our changes and publish it. We're going to come over here, grab the ID. Then we're going to head over to the Shopify editor, and we're going to add it there. So I'll show you what that looks like as well. Okay, perfect. Next, you're going to choose your discount and discount type. So we're going to set this up with a percentage, but you do have the option of a fixed amount or a buy X, get Y for free. So as a percentage, we're going to do 10% off, but you have to add a minimum of 3 products to the bundle in order to unlock the bundle discount. Now, something else I'm really excited about is we have smart cart detection. So if you select this, basically what this does is it creates the bundle discount for you. And then your customer on your website can add the products from these different steps accordingly, whether it's through this bundle or it's through the product page or a product grid on your homepage or a collection page. If they add products from this bundle and they meet the requirements, our smart cart detection will see that, and then it'll still apply the discount accordingly. I'm going to leave this unselected, but that is definitely a really awesome value add feature that we have included in this. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and take a look at our display. So currently we have this set up in what we call our pill style, but if you want, you can change it to a bar. And then you can notice we have 3 steps. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then as you navigate accordingly, like if I click on add to bundle and then click on next intro workout, you can see how our status bar will update in real time as well. Let's go back. Okay, perfect. And then the other option is going to be our tabs mode. I like the pill layout more, so I'm going to go back to that. Okay, next, this is our cart property name. So once customer adds to cart, again, this will help with reporting. We're just going to name this Sports 100. Perfect. Okay, great. So the other option that you have would be to also show this bundle on the individual product pages. So for all the products that are shown on this bundle, if you wanted to, by selecting this box, you would also then see the same bundle builder on each one of the product pages accordingly. And the other option you have is when a customer lands on a product page, you could leave it by default where it doesn't pre-select anything, or you could pre-select the product that they were viewing. I'm just going to leave the default here where they don't select anything. And I did not mean to turn that back on. Okay, so now we've gone through our bundle settings, our step settings. We've done and added our add-ons. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on Save Changes. And I'm going to click on Publish. Beautiful. So now we've published this bundle builder. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to grab our bundle ID. Okay, cool. So now let's go ahead and navigate over to our Shopify editor. I'm going to go ahead and add a section and we're going to click on Apps. We're going to select Presto Bundles. And once we've done that, you can see over here on the right-hand column within the bundle ID field, we're going to paste the ID that we just grabbed. And now in real time, you can see everything that we've done as we built this out. I think this looks great. The next step we're going to do is first I have to move the loom setting again. I'm going to click on Save. And now let's go ahead and I actually have this page already pulled up, but let's refresh the page and we should see our bundle that we just added right here, which we do. Amazing. So this looks great. I think this is really nice. And a couple of things to notate. We have our infographic here. We have our Learn More that's a pop-up with the video that we added here. We also have our video above the bundle visual right here. I think this looks great. We also have our load 3 more. And now we have 2 more to load. So we have that as an option. Beautiful. Next, you can select whatever flavor you want and you can see how the product image updates in real time. I think that looks great. Wonderful. Okay, cool. The other thing I wanted to show you is what the view details as a side drawer looks like. So if I click on this, view details is going to pull up the side drawer. It's going to pull up the different product images that we have. It's going to also include the product information. Now this is pulling in from the Shopify backend for the specific product. But I think this is a really great visual. Now on mobile, this actually pulls from the bottom up, so it looks great on mobile. In our other videos, we actually walk through all of the steps for what this looks like on mobile so that you can really understand it. We built it with mobile in mind as well. But for this product demo, we're just kind of walking through the desktop. So make sure to check out our product demos of the mobile version as well. But with that said, I think this looks really great. So let's go ahead and again, you can see where it says pick at least 1 item. Let's add our first item to cart. Okay, great. So now we've added the first one to our bundle here and we need to pick 2 more from this step. We have a max of picking at least 2 more from this step. So let's say we just pick these 2 here. Okay, great. Next, we're going to select our our intro workout. And again, you can see the image that we added. So that's going to live right here. I think this looks great, but maybe we don't need or want any intro workouts. So we could go ahead and skip that, click on recovery next. And we're going to add one thing I did want to notate before we add a protein here is that if you remember, in order to unlock our bundle discount, we had to have at least 3 items in our bundle. So by selecting the next item, now we have 3 added to the bundle and you can see where it says bundle discount unlocked. And you can see right here how much we're saving with the bundle discount. Now, if you decided, you know what, maybe actually I do want a BCA, you can always click on the go back a step and we could go ahead and select on, let's see, maybe we want an orange citrus and we could go ahead and add that back into the bundle. Perfect. So now we're going to actually review our kit here. But if you remember, we actually have a couple of add-on options here as well. And so if I wanted to, I could go ahead and select this multivitamin. I could select both. Maybe you have a multivitamin and a creatine. So you could imagine what this would really do as far as increasing your average order value and getting more items added to cart. And if I go ahead and click on add to bundle, you now see all of the different products that we added along with the add-on of our Daily Plus multivitamin and then how much we're saving in total here. And then from here, you could add this to your cart. So I think there's a lot of really cool things that we've done here. I'm going to go ahead and click on edit because one thing I did want to show you, again, because everything is done in real time, If we come back over here to our editor, and let's say, you know what, the drop down for our flavors is really nice, but what if we did want those swatches? Because we thought, you know what, these product images look really cool. Let's make sure to include those. You could simply come back over here to your steps, select whichever step you want to edit. And then over here, let's scroll down to where it says variant picker style. And instead of our drop down menu, we're going to move to swatches. Let's go ahead and click on Save Changes, and we're going to refresh. And you can see right now, we actually have our swatches. So let's go ahead and again, you could add your product from here. And again, if you clicked on View Details, you could certainly learn more about this product. The biggest value add in this side drawer, or any option that provides product details here, is it's going to really help provide the information that your customer is looking for in order to make the choice of which product they want to add to the bundle. We could redirect them to the product page, but we know if we did that, the likelihood of them navigating back to the bundle builder and completing it is very low to zero, right? And so we want to make sure that we're providing them with all the information they need right here within the bundle in order to make a decision on what product they want, because then again, the likelihood of them completing everything, getting their bundle discount, reviewing, and then adding to cart. And again, you don't have to select from the add-ons. And then moving forward to adding this bundle to cart and converting is a lot higher if we can provide them with all that information right here in the bundle. So I think, again, a lot to see here. And I think there's just a lot of great value add. I know this product demo was long and extensive, but there's so many features and functionality that are built into this. And I really wanted to take the time to kind of navigate through it all. And so with that said, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, any thoughts, any feedback. If you need help installing the app, if you need help implementing your first bundle or anything like that, or building it out, feel free to schedule a consultation call or an onboarding call. We're here to help, and we're really excited to get to know you and how you're using the app. So feel free to reach out. And again, if you have any feature requests, we would love to hear them. And apart from that, thank you so much for watching, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.